Hi, I'm Mark Evans, Superintendent of Omaha Public Schools, and thanks for joining me once again for some updates on our district and also some information that maybe we haven't shared with you in the past. Today you may have noticed we're not in a school setting. I don't have children behind me like we usually do in my podcast, but I wanted to show you something else today. I wanted to show you the Teacher Administrative Center, the TAC Center, because there's some misinformation about this building. For example, did you know that over 2/3 of this building is an auditorium and a career center? We're going to go visit those sites in just a second. Only 1/3 of this building is for all of those operations and payroll and HR functions and the superintendent's office, as well as the big school board meeting room, which is right to my right. The rest of it is that auditorium, and it's that career center. So today we're going to do a little tour so I can help you see what the building really is and maybe what it's not, because I think some people have misperceptions. But before we do our tour of TAC, I want to point something else out. And I want to thank many of our students and staff who have been recently recognized. You may have seen this on the top of the Midlands part of the World Herald, where it says not one but dos languages. In other words, dual languages right here in Omaha. Did you know that we have one of the finest dual language programs in the nation, and that we have, and you can read in the article about it, we have visitors that come to us from all over the U.S. to see how we do that. I want to thank the World Herald for publishing this positive article, and actually many others in the last 6 months. We clearly have some great young people and great staff doing some great work, and we're going to talk more about that in a minute. But right now, let's take a tour and let's look a little bit more at the TAC Center. Thank you. Now I've just walked down the hall to the auditorium area, and I wanted to kind of pan around here and let you see the gorgeous artwork on the ceiling, the granite walls. This is all the original auditorium built in the 1920s for Tech High. And the most kind of encouraging piece about this whole story is that this gorgeous auditorium is now in the midst of being in a renovation. We're working with several local private folks, as well as Tech High alumni, as well as the city of Omaha, to renovate this facility, because one of the issues is the civic auditorium is going to be torn down in the not too distant future, and we're going to be using this auditorium for public use again, which hasn't really happened since the old days of Tech High. Let's go on inside and take a look at this auditorium. I think you're going to be really impressed. Now we're inside the auditorium, and you can see why we're excited about this project and why we know it's going to be a great asset to our whole community, not just the school community, but the entire community. Behind me, you can see the wonderful stage, and if our cameraman was behind me, you'd see a wonderful balcony and all the details of the ceiling and walls in here, just as intricate as outside in the lobby. It reminds me a little bit of the Orpheum here in town. So it's just a beautiful facility, and I wanted you to be aware of it, and I wanted you to know about a little bit of the future of what's going to happen here in the not too distant future. So thanks for being with me on this tour. I am going to walk down to the Career Center. I wanted you to see the last third of the TAC building and recognize that we have 700 to 800 students right now in special programs. So if you'll follow me again, we're going to see the last part of the building. Thanks. Okay, now we're down to the last third of the building, and that's our Career Center. And right now, I'm in a hallway, and to my right is the radio, television, broadcasting hallway, and actually down there is a full-featured broadcasting room that's set up to train young people on how to do broadcasting. To my left is photography and actually welding classrooms, and behind me is auto body, and also the health area where we teach CNA classes, CMA classes, and more importantly, to my right, I have some of the staff that work with some of our early literacy programs, specifically with our refugee population. And ladies, thanks for standing here for a moment. And I believe we're serving about 60 to 70 students in that program, and that's a moving number, although it's a growing number, isn't it? I think we're now up to about 2,000 refugee students that we serve at OPS, so thanks to these wonderful ladies who are serving that population. And that gives you a glimpse of what we're doing here at the TAC building. Much different than what many people think goes on at TAC. Much different than what many people thought was filled with clerical and administrative staff. It's actually a school, an auditorium, and then it's that operations and administrative side. So thanks for joining me today. We sure appreciate your support, and I hope today was informational for you. Thanks again.